Hey guys, we are about to start round 13, and with all of the commotion of the round, a lot of people have been declining to be streamed. Seems to be a common theme here in Virginia. So there's going to be no Dylan Bryan for the whole tournament. There's going to be no Mike Diaz for the whole tournament. There's going to be no Eric Nance for the whole tournament. Um, but hopefully other people will like to be streamed and we can get some good games watching. So for this round we have Sam Vernoy. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Uh, he is from North Carolina, and then we have uh, Brian Kondor, who we featured earlier on yesterday. Uh, all right. So Sam is on the left, and he is playing Virizion Genesect with Leafeon tech, from what I know. And on the right, Brian, if I remember from yesterday, he's also playing Virizion Genesect. I can't really remember. I think it is, yeah. Yeah, people uh, don't have to be streamed. It's a lot of like just downside for them if they do like make a misplay. People call them out on it and all that stuff, and it's really just um, like nothing really positive to be streamed, I guess, unless like you can like watch your own self play. Um, it's perfectly fine too. Sometimes I don't like to be streamed. It also depends like on your mood. Things get like more nervous or something, I guess. But yeah, we'll see. And then there's like other matchups where they don't want to be streamed just because they're gonna tie this round. So it's all hit or miss. All right, so Sam is going first with Rizian. It's always really good. We see Brian open up a Bouffalant. I remember what he plays now. He plays the two Bouffalant Mewtwo in the Genesect. And yeah, we see an N. We don't see an energy attachment turn one. So that's kind of like troublesome for uh, Sam. Like if he doesn't get an energy off this end, then he's gonna be behind big in this mirror match. Funny thing is, Dylan Bryan actually got a bye this round, so he is 9-2, no, 8-2-2, pretty sure. And yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with the camera, but I don't know. Can't really do much about it. Hopefully it just stops. If any of you guys know what's going on, then you can help me. Alright, so he did miss that energy drop off of that N, and then Brian gets the energy on Virizion, so he essentially went first. He will have the first attack off, and that is big in mirror match. And he has the float zone for the Buffalon. And I don't think no one dropped with the buy. I'm pretty sure Kevin Nance just scooped his game and went to take a nap, which is hilarious. So yeah, Brian retreats the Buffalon and passes. We see a town map from Sam. Flips over the Eevee and the prizes and a Deoxys, I believe. And a Skyla, most likely to get an energy search. And then all you can really do is pass from here. Does have a supporter in hand for next turn, so at least he has something. But it was a good idea not risking like Junipering or N again to try to hit the energy and just go for the consistent like search with Skyla. Especially since you know your energy search is not prized because of town map. So Brian ends away Mewtwo and Max Potion, which are two good cards in this mirror. See another Bouffalant in his hand. He plays down the second one and chooses to bench the second Virizion, leaving one Genesect in his field. And then he Emerald Slashes to the Genesect, gets it charged up, and ready to go for next turn. There he could have probably charged up the Bouffalant and just taken the prize on the Virizion, but who knows. Both are really good attackers in this match. So Sam does hit the second energy. Plasma Balls getting... I'm not really sure what he runs. Another Genesect. Yeah, his Deoxys is prized. He doesn't really want Leafeon. And then the Emerald Slashes attaches to a Genesect, and now we have somewhat of a game. Both players have things charged up. We might just see more Emerald Slashes to charge other attackers up also. We see the red signal bringing up the Genesect with 2 energy and a Skyla. Is he getting G-Booster this turn? And he is. So most likely we are going to see a G-Booster to take out that Genesect with 2 energy. And yep, Brian goes down to 4 prizes. Sam promotes the Virizion. And most likely we'll just Emerald Slash again this turn. And we see an end of 4. So who knows if actually going for the G-Booster was too aggressive or not. He could have brought up the Genesect and Emerald Slashed again, charging up a Bouffalant, and he would still be left with 6 prizes, but this end wouldn't have put him at 4. And both the EXs would have been able to be knocked out by Goldbreaker. Kevin Nance is playing Raybor. Eric Nance is playing Tool Drop. And then we see an Emerald Slash. 3 energy on that Genesect on the bench. And with that Tool Scrapper, it did get rid of the G-Booster. So there's not really that much of a threat, especially since with only 4 cards in his hand, it's not likely he'll have the Shadow Triad and a Chorus Machine and a Grass. So we see another switch. And then Emerald Slash charging up the Bouffalant most likely. Yep. Alright, we see a Plasma Energy from Sam. If he has the G-Booster in hand, or if he like plays Laser Verbank in his deck, I'm not really sure. He could actually bring up the Bouffalant and kill it. There's a Skyla, could be getting G-Booster, and just G-Boostering the Bouffalant away. It would leave Brian with little to none like responses. He didn't really play a supporter last turn, so his hand is pretty bad. Let's see what he gets. He was debating between G-Booster, but he Skylos for the Juniper. So showing that he has nothing else in his hand. And that G-Booster would have only been 1 prize. It's good to note that there are 2 ends in his prizes because of the town map, he's able to see, so he would be able to get a supporter if he knocks out the Buffalon. But the thing is, he doesn't really want to end his opponent out of his bad hand. Oh yeah, uh, I'm just waking up. Thanks, Mikey. All right, so he only has one energy from that Emerald Slash. So that means he is out of grass. He still can have grass in hand, then he has that one in the prizes. But it's good information to know. Okay, so he does have one in hand. So he has two grass left total. One in hand, one in the prizes. And then the Genesect or Buffalon comes up and just knocks out. He wants to leave it up there anyway. He knows it's going to get knocked out. And he attached to the Buffalon on the bench too. Alright, so there's the third energy on the Genesect. Sam will be able to knock out this Buffalon with Megalo Cannon. And the good thing is he can put 20 on, or never mind, he can't put 20. There's Mr. Mime on the bench. So he Ultra Balls for the Eevee. Now, Leafeon is a very interesting card in like this meta. There has been a lot of Blastoise, a lot of Raybor, and a lot of Lugia, and it actually does pretty decently against all of those. It does 20 times the number of energy your opponent has in the field, and because of that, it's able to do a ton of damage. It's also really good against Genesect, showing his opponent that he Ultra Balled away the Shadow Triad. Alright, and he gets a Virizion. Could come if like some status effects would happen. Knocks out the Buffalon. Brian brings up Virizion, and he did. Sam did take the N from the prizes. So with Brian only having two prizes, ending the two would be really good. And it is nice that Sam got that Virizion because Brian just wasted a laser. That would have been bad if he would have stayed asleep. Alright, so we see an energy switch to the Genesect on the bench from the Buffalon. And an N. So he ends himself to 2. And Sam to 5. But Sam is mounting a comeback. The G Booster is in the discard for Brian. He already played the supporter for the turn at the end. His only powered up guys are a Virizion and a Genesect. Oh wow, and we see Sam gets 2 Plasma Energies and a G Booster from that end. So depending on what Brian does, he's going to be able to bring up that Genesect and just knock it out. And Brian Emerald Slash for 50 and failed the search. That really sucks. It is interesting to note that Sam does play a 2-2 Leafeon. I mean, I'm not sure if he plays like a Flareon or something, but I've seen him play Leafeon. It's definitely really weird in the deck, but it's worked out for him here so far. He made day 2, and he is in contention for top 8. So we do see the red signal bringing up the Genesect, and the switch to the other Genesect, and he plays the G-Booster. I'm not sure if I would have liked that. He could have just attached to the active. Even though it has 50 on it, there was no threat on the board for Brian to knock out that Genesect. And he would have had 2 energy on the Genesect still after the G-Booster and been able to G-Booster next turn. But Brian plays a Tool Scrapper anyway and just like shoots down all my Theriumon. So here's Brian, 1 card in hand, no grass in the deck, and he just Emerald Slashed. And let's see. There's a Skyla. Probably just to get another supporter, I would think. He still has that plasma energy in his hand. Okay, he's gonna Shadow Try it. He just wants to essentially end the turn next turn. What he could do is plasma energy, red signal up the Mr. Mime, attaching it to the active Genesect, retreat, and Megalo Cannon the Mr. Mime. That means whatever Brian brings up, he can just G-Booster next turn for the game. And his only attacker is Virizion, so he might be forced to bring it up. I'm not really sure. And there's also an energy switch in his hand. He could just opt to. Yeah, there's the red signal. Yep, up to Mr. Mime. He's going to be Megalo Canning this turn after energy switching from the Eevee, I believe. Oh no, don't. No. Why do you need a net grass on Eevee? But, anyways, it's almost like impossible for him to lose right now. So he does knock out the Mr. Mime with Megalo Cannon and has the Shadow Triad for the G-Booster for next turn, and that's game. Oh, Brian showed his hand of 2 lasers. So Sam takes game 1 after pretty like steady comeback. In this matchup, the lasers actually hurt Brian a lot more because that's close to, I'm guessing, about 6 cards that he just can't really use that much against Sam. right. Um, give little updates. I'm pretty sure Santiago Rodriguez tied with his opponent. Um, Michael Pramwat was playing Kevin Nance, and Kevin Nance was still taking a nap. So I'm pretty sure he won. I can't really tell. I know Sam Chen went 0-3 so far today, so he's out of contention. Mike Diaz is still playing against his opponent. Christian Ortiz, who we saw twice on stream yesterday, is still playing against his opponent, and they're both up in the top tables. Andy K is playing Ray Cipoletti, I believe, and they are still playing, although they might have tied. No, they're playing. And Henry Pryor is out of it, I think. He has 2 losses and a tie today. And that's all I can really see right now. Yeah. Eric Nance is playing Ashon Haswell, and they are both in contention for making top 8 also. And I think that's all I can see. John Bristow is... Oh, okay, so John Bristow is actually playing Christian Ortiz right now, and they're both still in it. All right, game 2. Sam actually starts Jirachi EX, which is... I just can't tell you how horrible it is. That's just awful. You never want to play it against Genesect, and then to have to start with it, that's just even worse. Oh wow. And that he plays Buffalon too. That's definitely going to be a quick 2 prizes at some time in the game if Brian gets set up. And after all the grass energy troubles that Brian had in game 1, he ultra balls 2 away in game 2. Must mean he has a ton of grass in hand, or his hand is just too important to get rid of. Let's see what Brian can do. I mean, I'm sure he has the turn 1 energy. Oh, there's the Super Rod, putting back those 2 grass. He sees the importance of having those back in the deck after last game. Alright, so he energy searched for the grass, attached it to the Virizion, and passed. Sam does have quite a grip of cards from Brian mulliganing so much, and there was no supporter during Brian's turn. Let's see what he does. He Ultra Balls. Most likely getting the Virizion. Just checking to make sure what he has. See if he still has this town map in his deck. That way you don't have to really check to see what's in your deck, I guess. There goes Virizion. Attach, and he's probably gonna Skyla this turn. Either to get a Juniper or... Okay, Plasma Ball. He's gonna go search for Genesect. Alright, so he does have his Virizion with an energy and a Genesect, so next turn he will be ready to Emerald Slash and start charging up his attackers if that Jirachi wasn't there. And we gotta remember that Brian did not play a supporter last turn. Does he have anything? He does have a Skyla, so that gets him the Floatstone or the Switch. He'll be able to retreat and charge up that Bouffalant, but it's always bad if you're gonna like do 50 damage to a Jirachi when it has such low HP at 90. It's really easy to just knock out later, and you'd rather do that 50 damage to like Virizion or Genesect. Alright. Sam does have the switch, and he plays an N. Oh, that is tough. He end away Brian's hand of one card that we knew wasn't anything at all. It's giving him a fresh hand of 6 and a leg up with him being able to Emerald Slash first. But the good thing is, though, it wasn't a Genesect that was Emerald Slash 2, so he doesn't have the option to Red Signal G Booster on his turn. Now we see the 2 guys on the Genesect. What will Brian do with his fresh hand? Alright, so he opts to just start attacking with Bouffalant. Waste the laser. See a max potion in his hand? It's not really helpful right now. So he's just gonna Juniper away his hand. I kind of wonder why Bryant hasn't really gone for Mewtwo. Mewtwo's actually pretty good in this matchup. I'm guessing not as good against normal Virizion Genesects because of the Leafeon threat there, but it's still pretty good. And okay, wow, Brian actually draws another Bouffalant, so he's going to be able to retreat with the Floatstone and Emerald Slash to charge it up. So he's going to have 2 Bouffalants threatening to knock out the Virizion and the Jirachi. Alright, Sam gets another Genesect in play. If he can Red Signal up one of the Bouffalants and Emerald Slash it, it'll set it up for a later knockout with Megalo Cannon, and he'd be able to charge up the other Genesect on his bench. One thing that's really good right now is Leafeon, actually. If Brian has, well, with the energy Brian has in play right now, it's 7. That means Leafeon is doing 140, so 120 to Bouffalant, and it has 100 HP, I believe. Yeah, it has 100 HP, and it's not an EX, so Bouffalant only does 60 to it. Leafeon's actually really good right now. If he gets a way to search for Leafeon off of this end of 6, he can just knock out the Virizion and then next turn knock out a Bouffalant if Brian attaches an energy. He does draw the Leafeon and the town map, so he'll be able to find his G Booster and like a Plasma Energy or a Juniper if he needs it. Leafeon is going to be coming up huge. Alright, so he retreats the Virizion for the Eevee, or for the Leafeon. Brian had to read Leafeon. And there we see an Energy Crush for 140. As Sam gets his G-Booster, and the Energy Switch. Ooh. Oh, I guess that is true. He doesn't have 3 energy on that Genesect. Now, here's the thing. Like, if Brian doesn't play down an energy, his Bouffalant's actually safe this turn. But if he does, that means the Bouffalant's just going to get one hit. So we see the Ultra Ball, discarding 2 cards for the Genesect. He just doesn't know which cards to discard. There's a Grass. And a Chorus. So he does play the 6th energy on the board. Red signals up Virizion and knocks it out with Bouffalant. Now this Bouffalant will be knocked out by this Leafeon. This Leafeon's going to be putting in work. Let's see what he does. Skylas could get like an energy search if he hasn't played it already. Get another energy on that Genesect. Could get a supporter for next turn, even though I'd probably just get a supporter from the prizes. Yeah, so he gets energy search for the grass. And most likely we'll be attaching that grass to the Genesect with 2 energy. And let's see. He will attach that energy. Alright, and then he will knock out the Bouffalant. And Brian realizes that there is 6 energy in play. It will knock it out, and that is just unfortunate. And he really needs to get an N. If he has the energy switch, but if he doesn't N, Sam has that G-Booster in his hand. Okay, there it is. N, Brian will draw 4, Sam will draw 3. And I just got word that Mike Diaz lost his last round, but he should be in with a tie. And then we see another energy switch. So after, oh, he is almost G-boosted. I think he forgot that Megalo Cannon actually knocks out Leafeon. The one good thing is if this Genesect survives, he can just knock out Jirachi with a Megalo Cannon like damage next turn. It does not look like Sam has very much. It seems like his hand is Leafeon and 3 energy. And Sam red signals up the Boufflant, retreats to the Jirachi, and passes. Ooh, we see a laser. Gets a heads. If that Jirachi cannot be retreated next turn or stays asleep, it will die coming into Brian's turn because of poison damage. Oh, he got the Verbank, so the Jirachi just gets killed. And Sam is in a really tough spot right now. He needs to hit a Tool Scrapper to get rid of that G-Booster. He did end Brian to 1. So that Boufflant will be stuck up there for a little bit, but not very long. So he has Junipers for next turn, but all he can do for this turn is pass. There's a laser, gets tails, and N again. And that is tough because those I think were his last Junipers in his hand. He does have 1 prized, so hopefully he can draw at least 1 of those again. And Sam drew nothing off of that N. His hand is Switch, Energy Switch, Ultra Ball, Eevee, I believe. And he is on a clock right now. So he decides to Ultra Ball, most likely to get the Virizion to get rid of that poison damage. Well, not the damage, but the poison. So no more damage will be added up. Alright, so Brian top decks a Juniper. Oh my gosh. If he hits the switch, he will win, and that is game 2. Brian wins game 2. Now they're going to game 3, and it looked so good for Sam there. His Leafeon was going on a tear, but Brian was able to charge up his Genesect, and it was definitely the best option for him. All right, and I think almost everyone that has a chance of making top 8 is already finished. I am not sure who won between John Bristow and Christian Ortiz. I'll try to get that for you guys. I'm also not sure who won between Ray. Let's see. Alright, so game 3 is underway, and we see the town map, and 3 plasma energies are prized on Sam's field. And he had the other one in hand. That is just awful. The thing I haven't seen from both players is Color's Machine. I don't think either players play it, but yeah. Um, those 3 plasma energy prize. This is the one thing I hate about Town Map is it gives your opponent knowledge that they usually shouldn't have. Because if you just search your deck and memorize your prizes, then you'll know, okay, they'll prize, but your opponent won't know, and they'll still be playing around it. Now, Brian can play a lot more safely, knowing there's only one in the deck for him to use. Uh, I did find out that John Bristow did beat Christian Ortiz. Um, Ray Cipolletti did win his game, and yeah, they're both very strong in contention to make top 8. Also, Sam whiffed the energy off of that end of 1, and that is just heartbreaking. I cannot tell on Brian's side if that's a Genesect or a Virizion. It does look like a full art Genesect. And he didn't play a supporter, only a laser, and that really hurts too. There we see the switch to Virizion with the grass and a pass. Yep, it is a full art Genesect on Brian's active spot. He attaches, plays the mime, and passes. So even though Sam missed that energy turn 1, he will still get the first Emerald Slash off because Brian cannot find a Virizion. And then Sam is forced to Ultra Ball for Jirachi and get Juniper. So that's very tough because, of course, you need supporters to win the game, but having to play down the Jirachi just is kind of a liability. But I think with the way Brian's drawing right now, you can afford that liability. Alright, let's see what Brian has. He does have the 3rd energy, so he will be able to Megalo Cannon this turn. He also has the G-Booster in his hand. Could be tempted to actually use it this turn. Try to get 2 prizes. Try to get a Juniper or some sort of supporter off a prize. See what he gets. I see in the Ultra Ball, I don't see anything else really. And that hurts. Especially since Sam Skylit for G-Booster and is about to leave Brian with 0 energy in play. Oh wow. And I almost assured you that Sam is going to be getting 2 plasma energy from his prizes. At least I would hope so. Alright. Ultra Balls. I did not see what he got, but there is the G-Booster. He takes the Virizion and a Plasma Energy. So he probably noticed that Uh, he knocked out the other one, so his other Virizion is in the prizes. That means he probably only plays two. Maybe. I see the Ultra Ball from Brian after the Tool Scrapper getting rid of G-Booster. And the thing to note is Sam only has that one energy in play. Brian does grab Virizion. Does he have an energy to attach to it? If he does, that's something at least, but... Oh, there's the N. So he did draw a supporter. He will be ending both players to 4. But he desperately needs to draw an energy. And thankfully, at least, he got that Tool Scrapper. Let's see, he does get the energy. So that is big. But does his hand have anything else in it? And I keep knocking into the camera, but you can still see some of the game. We see Sam Shadow Triad. Could be getting Chorus if he has it, or yeah, Chorus. So next turn he will have a supporter. He does have that Plasma Energy. Chooses not to Red Signal, it won't matter. Retreats to the Genesect on the bench and passes. Let's see what Brian can do. There's a Verbank. Oh, that is... Oh no, I would have retreated first. That is a big misplay, I think. I think it was pretty big because he could have retreated the mine for free. And then Emerald Slash this turn got 2 energy on Genesect. But now he can't, and he just has to pass. This is one of only 3 matches that are left playing right now. But it is the only one that really matters right now. The other 2 are at the bottom tables of this Day 2 Top 32. So I think he realizes now that he can't, or he realized he can't Emerald Slash and just passes. While Sam uses that course that he got from the Shadow Triad, he will draw a fresh hand of 6, and hopefully he'll be able to do something. And yeah, so time was called, I guess, before, and that is a draw. So yeah, we have a draw here.